against this full moon. Don't ever say I didn't warn you, because I came to play, came to play, I came to play, came to play, I came to play, came to play, I came to play. Wow.
Well, hello. It is Thursday, not Tuesday, not Wednesday. We've pushed all the way to a Thursday this time, October 13th. It's kind of weird because for me at work, it was basically a Friday, and it was kind of a Friday the 13th. But it's really Thursday. It's just the world messing with my mind as usual. We are the Unused Substitutes. We are back. I don't know that I'd say we're better than ever, but we're definitely back talking about the last week and a half so at this point now in Rowdies Soccer. I'm Matt, and Dan, I believe you're there.
I am here.
Nice. How's everything been going? It's been a while. You had stuff going on Tuesday. I had stuff going on Wednesday, and but here we are.
It's going. Again, family obligations. It's a rough time. Birthdays abound for my family right now. They never stop.
That's like my March, which luckily it's still kind of the off season, but yeah, it's it can get a little hectic.
Hunker down. We did name it Hunker Down, didn't we?
We did, just for Pendleton.
I was gonna make sure to work that in.
Who may or may not still be in Canada. I don't know. He went the day after the Rowdies played in Edmonton. So I don't he's got to be mad he couldn't figure out to do a go up the day before and catch that game, I would have thought.
Well, I'm sure he's hunkered down in a hotel room or at a pub.
Something like that. So we've got all kinds of stuff to talk about, I guess. Well, we'll start off with the last two games. We'll just do our kind of, we're running off like show notes tonight. We're just no show notes tonight. All these words with similar sounding syllables is
getting old and confused, man.
Well, I'm always kind of old and confused, but that's just how it works. So the last game with similar sounding syllables.
Whoa.
There's me playing around with the YouTube thing. Yeah. So are you up on Facebook right now?
Yes, I am on Facebook Live right now.
All right. That was me trying to find the link to send out because I have it set on private as the for the YouTube thing because we have a YouTube channel for reasons that we might become more apparent later on. But I'm going to tweet that out in a few minutes. I'll let you ramble on in a few seconds about something, and then I'll tweet that out there. But you guys can tune in and see. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a little contest, see who gets the most viewers, you on Facebook or me on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's you. People like you better anyway.
People I don't know why. I don't know why they would like me better at all.
Because you're not old like me. I remind them of the impending mortality of their lives, I guess. I don't know. But so after our last show, which was last Tuesday, the next game was the next night against Minnesota. One of our two
the must-win game.
Yeah, the must-win game for both teams, and nobody won.
Yeah, and here we are still, well, not in the three-way tie, but basically.
I know.
1 point, Minnesota's 1 point ahead, and then there's like insanity below.
Now it's even weirder because we're not in a three-way. Yeah, I said it.
I don't think soccer three-ways are as... I don't know where I'm going with this.
Something about balls, probably.
Yeah. Soccer three-ways mean balls everywhere.
Everywhere in the net. It was Minnesota 2 and the Rowdies 2. Highlight of the match, other than Keith Savage's stoppage time equalizer, which was karmic payback for the insane amount of diving and time wasting and just crap levels of gamesmanship that the Minnesota players were putting on pretty much all game long. Was getting the Hofbrauhaus branded Rowdies boot. I still haven't drank out of it yet, though.
Why not, slacker?
Well, because it was Wednesday night game, I had to get up and go teach class the next day, so I wasn't going to drink a couple 28 ounces And also, even though they were advertising it was $2 hot dog and beer night, to get your boot filled up would be $8. And I just wasn't going to do that.
It was 8, really?
8 for the boot. I mean, it'd probably be better beer too, so I can't really complain. Now, other people around me, I heard you have seen pictures. We're filling theirs with like vodka tonics, 28 ounces of that.
Go hard.
I'm sitting there trying to be the really super sober one. So you weren't able to make it out to the game. Did you get a chance to watch it though?
Yeah, I watched it from home.
So
it was a good game.
Do you remember? Because I'm trying to remember back. I had to go back and look and see and make sure that was one after our last show. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
I kind of got a good, bad, ugly, but I'll let you go do yours first, and I'll tweet some links out here.
Defensive lapses were definitely. Oh, let's go good. Obviously, most of the gameplay we controlled that game. Minnesota didn't deserve to be up a goal at any point in that game. We played well for the most part, but we found ourselves trailing until what was it? We went in tied 1-1 at the half, and then Minnesota came out early in the second and scored their second. But it was a good game for us. Just normal seems to be mental lapses that happened for us that ended up shooting us in the foot. But Keith Savage obviously saved us in stoppage time.
Yeah, it was one of those even though we were down and then it was level and then we were down and then pushing for that equalizer and going into stoppage time. Like I still felt we were going to get a result out of that game. That was one of those, just like you said, they played well. Didn't really quite dominate possession like they had in the last few games. So maybe it's kind of a trend after Miami. But Minnesota's, despite their form, they had come in losing 2 or 4 in a row. I was hoping to give them, one more red dot on the NASL form chart. But coming in, they're still a much better team than that string of results says. So I'm not surprised by it. And this is a game where both clubs are kind of fighting for their postseason lives. I'm sure as a neutral in the league probably enjoyed the heck out of it because you got a fairly entertaining game with a nice number of goals and many Minnesota-shaped divots in the pitch from guys diving. But I mean, it was a fun game. I just really would have rather have won that one.
Yeah, that was one we needed to win at home against an opposition not playing their best, and it just was something we should have won, but it didn't. I mean, a draw didn't hurt our chances. We still have a game in hand, so it is what it is, and we're still not out of this yet.
So here's what I meant to ask you on the last show, and I forgot about it because you had made the statement that if we dropped any more points at home, we'd be out of it. And since that prediction, we've had 2 straight draws at home, but it still feels like we're right in the middle of it.
That's because everybody around us is doing us a favor. The league is just crazy right now. Nobody wants that 4th playoff spot, which it's getting to the point. What was it last year, where the gap between the top 3 and that 4th spot is huge, and we're getting there. I mean, there's only 8 points separating Minnesota and Indy 11, but Indy still has a game in hand. So like the top, I mean, Edmonton and the Cosmos are 56 points in the combined table, and Edmonton's 50. They're pulling away. So I guess the cream is rising to the top while everybody's stumbling, while everybody else is trying to stumble towards that 4th place spot.
Yeah, wasn't it at some point? It was the distance between 3rd and 1st was like almost half of what it was between 3rd and 4th.
Yeah,
or something weird like that. All right, so good overall. The result, Keith getting that goal. I mean, like we went and talked to him after the game in the locker, not the locker room, like the press room. He's a guy that always comes in with a smile on his face to begin with, but getting a goal like that was big for him. He was it was his first time playing in a while. Went the whole match. He was exhausted. He was beat. So good with that. The crowd for a Wednesday night, I gotta say, was pretty good. It looked a little sparse to start out with. It filled in a little bit. They announced it as I want to say just under 5,000, I think, And I mean, it didn't look that way to my eyes, but I'm also not a math teacher anymore because of my ability with numbers. So who knows? Channel 10 was there, and they shot a pretty cool segment in and around the mob. They came up and beat the drum for a little bit. They talked to Lizzie for a little while. It was pretty cool. But we had a good evening out there.
Yeah, I saw the video. You linked the video. It looked like it was a good time, and they did some good camera work there to make the mob look bigger than what it seemed during the game. That's not a shot at the mob, a Wednesday night game. Nobody expects much. They still sounded great.
They did a crappy job with the camera by putting me on it at least twice. So, anything else under the goods?
Not for that game, no.
Oh, wait a second. There was also Carlos Preciado almost scored. # scheduled tweet.
Yeah.
It's getting closer. If we can just get another centimeter underneath the crossbar, I think we've got a goal. Bad.
Those 2 defensive lapses.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. Definitely. But the first goal for Minnesota comes off. It's a little scrum in the box. It's ball's kind of ping-ponging everywhere. And it ends up in the back of the net. And Keith said after the game that he felt he could have done more on both of those. On both of those goals, that he kind of put that on him a little bit. So I think that was I don't know if I would give him the same amount of blame he's giving himself, at least publicly, but when you make mistakes like that, the difference between a good team and a bad team is a good team is going to make you pay. In Minnesota, despite their results coming in, like we said, is still a very good team, and they made us pay.
Yeah, I mean, that's expected. I mean, Christian Ramirez is a pretty good player, and is still leading the Golden Boot chase, isn't he?
I think so, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, I tried to check, but the NASL website's not loading on my computer.
Oh, I've got it up here on mine. Let me check and see. Anything else on the bads? Well, talk about the second one, Luke, because I know how I saw it on from behind the goal, but what did it look like on TV?
I don't remember. I'm trying to think of what the second goal was. Hold on.
The one where it comes in and Pickens goes to punch it out and punches it right to.
Oh yeah, that was a very bad punch. It was just it. I thought I don't know. Is that the one that bounced off the crossbar? I thought that was the first goal, or is that the second? I don't remember.
I'm checking it now, but Louis says Ramirez still at number 1.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, he has a little question. He'll throw it in there. Not a shot at the Rowdies, but what is it with all these clubs that just aren't making the moves to that 4th place spot? Narrative. I don't know.
Like I said, nobody wants to play Edmonton.
I guess not.
Nobody wants to travel to Edmonton for the final.
Geez, a week later, or not even a week later, a handful of days later, we didn't want to travel to Edmonton.
Yeah, that game was ugly. Hold on, let's see. I'm reading Jake's recap for the refresher. I should have done this before. Show prep.
Before we even, before we even get to that game, though, I will say the one redeeming thing about the Edmonton game was the yellow ball.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Keith Savage forgot to close or failed to close down Jeb, which he ricocheted it. The first goal was the one Pickens pushed into the bar and fell at Christian Ramirez's feet.
Right.
And I think the second one was the scrum in the box.
Oh, side and backwards. That happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, just like we said, you make those mistakes and they'll make you pay for it.
The second goal to me was kind of unacceptable. I mean, he had the initial shot. Who was it? J.C. Banks, who ended up scoring, I guess, had 3 guys on him, and they still allowed him to turn on goal. Like, that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I'm trying to think back and remember. I just know that it was no one in the anywhere was happy about that one that night.
No, but hey, we came out with a point. We kept us in the race, and then we had to travel to Edmonton.
Edmonton, where it was lots of, I guess that's what happens when water freezes. I don't know. We don't see that happen too much down here.
I never want to see snow again.
I still never seen it in my life.
Oh, 2-3 years ago when I had to spend a month or two up in New York in February, and I was shoveling snow every day.
Well, depending on what happens, maybe in about a month for me.
It's so bad. It's so bad. You know, like I remember after the first time I was like, yeah, snow, this is cool. And then like 2 or 3 days or about a week later, I was like, this is terrible. And then the third week I was like, I hate everything. Get me back to Florida.
Nice. So yeah, road game up there, day before Canadian Thanksgiving, to take on Edmonton. Yeah. Edmonton wins 1-0. Oh wait, we didn't go back. Man of the match for Minnesota.
Keith Savage.
Yep. I'm gonna go with that. Easy.
That's right.
Easy. So yeah, on to Edmonton again. We lose 1-0. Doesn't kill us because other clubs around us have not taking advantage of the situations. Just not great in general. That's one of those games where if we didn't score early, I felt like we probably weren't going to score.
I don't know. I mean, I thought Edmonton would sit back a little bit more than they did, but I mean, they're a different team and they're dangerous. Really, they're hard to break down and they're good going forward. And them scoring early, I thought would help us because I thought that would allow us to play more of our game. But we also got kind of screwed by Mother Nature, where the first half, like the wind was in Pickens' face and snow was swirling, and suddenly, miraculously, when we at halftime, all of that disappears and it's sunny and calm.
Weird how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, the Illuminati.
Yeah, who knew Pro ran the weather too, even though they didn't have referees in Canada this time around.
The refereeing was a little suspect too, but it's a story for another day. I don't feel like whining about that too.
No, but it was weird because it wasn't like consistently slanted one way or the other. It seemed like it would go in spurts. Like, okay, like Nick, for the next 5 minutes you're going to get calls, and then for the next 5 minutes they're going to get calls, and then like
it was very weird,
yeah.
And just again inconsistent. But
But
we could do a year's worth of shows on bad refereeing.
The young Canadian, Mr. Fisk, gets a goal. It was a pretty nice header from a little bit, a little distance out from the goal off the cross in from. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember who sent the cross in for Edmonton. I don't know.
I don't remember.
But it was a nice goal, and then it was, Savage has that chance right before half. And any other keeper besides Van Oekel, I don't know if he gets to it.
I mean, Savage has been Mr. Reliable in those spots since he's come back, and it just wasn't his day.
No. Any other keeper besides Van Oekel. There we go. Just checking something else there. Had to mess it up there. Didn't mean to, but I couldn't resist. just learning, just proving to myself that no one wants to watch me at all. Not that it's not physically possible. Oh well, it's probably better for them anyway. So yeah, made some changes in the second half. Preciado comes on. They pushed and pushed and pushed. Stewart talked at the end a little bit about how he felt they played well, just didn't convert. Now, a lot of this you can factor in the weather, you can factor in the number of games and the number of days. But it's so I don't know whether it's a trend or not, but in the second half of both of these games, against Minnesota at home and against Edmonton up there, I felt like the tempo dropped off noticeably.
I think my biggest criticism so far of Stewart is when there's a game like that, he waits too long to make the sub.
Right.
I think it was very obvious to everybody that Tommy Heineman was not having a great game, and I'm not trying to pile on him. He's been doing pretty well up there for us, making the runs, but he was just bad game for him. I think I'd make that sub either at halftime or 50 minutes in instead of waiting till almost 70.
Yeah.
Even 60. Like, just make it a little quicker. Be a little quicker on the trigger there for pulling a guy like your striker who's having a terrible game. I think Preciado, giving him a couple, 10 extra minutes, maybe something happens. Make that change. Don't hesitate.
And I'm sure part of it is he's got to warm up to the game, because I don't know that he's ever played in conditions like that. He's
probably not.
South American player.
Exactly.
And
Like,
I get the idea of going with Tommy because Tommy's a guy who's had success playing in Canada on turf for a few years now.
I mean, like I said, he's been
but,
playing well.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, the goals haven't exactly been reining in, but he's been
chipping in with
playing
the
well
assists and the,
and setting
and
up
the link-up,
everybody
yeah.
else, drawing defenders, putting balls in. He's doing well. It just wasn't his game. So I think you have to make that change quicker.
Right. Yeah, maybe another 5-10 minutes. Preciado gets warmed up a little bit more and manages to get one off the crossbar.
Yeah, and get even just creating a rebound. I mean, he makes different runs. And I think some fresh legs in a tired team would be a huge difference. But some coaches have their manual. I mean, it's not Ricky Hill predictable, but it's getting there.
So the good for that game. The yellow ball.
It was nice to see snow on screen.
Yeah, well, that's what snow looks like. Bad. Well, pretty much everything else. Any ugly really though?
Not that I can think of.
No, maybe some borderline stuff. It really wasn't anything ugly in that. Well, I guess you could say that one of that one goal that he puts on the crossbar is a little ugly, but
dropping 3 points that we desperately needed.
Yeah, and and that's a game where you're going on the road to one of the top teams in the league, and you feel pretty strongly like you'll take Edmonton in any one-off game, especially in Edmonton. The way they're organized defensively and the way they play, and plus having probably the best keeper in the league in net form right now. It may not be the most logical thing in the world to go up there expecting to come out of there with 3 points, but with the situation you're in, a point would have been perfect. A point would have been lovely at this juncture right now. Any man of the match for that?
I'm going to say Neil Collins for not wearing long sleeves.
Okay, and I even this is one of my favorite things from the broadcast. The announcers were commenting on the number of Rowdies players who were wearing long sleeves or gloves. At the same time, the camera was showing like 3 Edmonton players.
I think we had less players wearing long sleeves and gloves than the Edmonton players.
I think it was Mike who tweeted it out. Whoever was running the game day account. There were more Edmonton players in long sleeves and tights and gloves and things like that than there were Rowdies players.
Yeah.
They were making there was a lot of fun being had on Twitter about the Tampa Bay team's playing in the cold. It's snow and you just have to deal with it, which is hilarious because number one, the Edmonton played in Fort Lauderdale last night and it drizzled and they were whining about it all night on Twitter. We're soaked. There's a crack in. First of all, you're not in Jacksonville. You don't have a fake inflatable octopus. Number two, wasn't even really raining that hard. Okay, try being here a week ago when a hurricane came like one coast away from us, and it rained harder here than it was in Fort Lauderdale last night.
I mean, 415 people went to that game?
Yeah.
So,
thanks.
I mean, Fort Lauderdale is going to Fort Lauderdale.
But you're kind of discounting the fact that we've got a Danish player, a Bulgarian player, Tam and Neil and Joe, and trying to think anyone else. I mean, we've got English players. It's not exactly like a
Pickens played in Colorado.
Yeah. Heineman was in Canada for a couple years now, so it's not like it's I don't think that was a major impediment as much as
travel, right?
Travel and then the short turnaround between games I think had more of an impact than anything else. It was kind of snowing a little bit, flurries a little bit beginning of the game, but nothing significant, nothing really having too much of an impact on the turf, at least from the way I was looking at it. But
the one thing that really bothered me was the Edmonton announcers were really harping about how solid that ball would be in that weather, and we weren't taking shots. For a team with Avila and Vingard and Preciado and even Heineman that like to seem to shoot from right outside the box, we weren't doing it. when there was wind and the elements, we weren't doing it. We weren't taking the shots. We were instead trying to overcompensate and be too cute and too perfect with it. Just shoot it.
Trying to walk it into the goal again.
Yeah, and that's not going to work.
No.
Shoot it.
We haven't shown an ability to do that in the final third to begin with. But yeah, my kind of pregame prediction to you and Ryan on Twitter was this is the game where Vingard's going to score, not just because he's the Danish guy who's played in cold weather, but with these conditions and his proclivity to take a shot from outside of the box, it seemed kind of tailor-made for him, but it didn't come to pass.
Yeah, I was hoping, but alas, nothing happened.
So it hit me. I realized that I was down at Shamrock watching that game. That's the last road game I'm going to be there watching this year, regular season at least.
Oh, because you're going to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm going to Disney tomorrow night, so I'm going to miss and take my daughter to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. So I'm going to miss.
Right. I don't know why I keep thinking I thought the game was Saturday. I also thought it was a home game, and then I was going to miss it again because I got to do more family crap. But it's tomorrow, and I don't have family stuff, so I can sit at home and watch.
And then, the regular season finale, the mob's not doing an organized bus trip down for this one. So Ryan, if you've been to the game, he's the voice behind the PA in the stadium. He sends me messages. He's taking the day off. It's a 4:00 kickoff. And I was like, okay, all right, so we're trying to organize. We've kind of got a little one going already. We've got some time to work on it, though. We've got a carpool going. Ryan and I will be leaving from Sarasota. There'll be some meeting up and leaving from Al Lang. We're going to head out around probably 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. Make our way up there, try and get there around 12:30, 1 o'clock when they open the parking lots. Do a little tailgating. Obviously watch the game, hopefully come out of there with it'd be the first time, if we can get a win, that we've gotten 3 points in Jacksonville this year. It'd be the first time we've won in Jacksonville ever, because we lost up there last year and drew up there earlier this year.
Depending how this goes, it might be again an imperative game, which we know how well that worked last year.
Well, it could be, depending on other results, it could be a Coastal Cup clinching game, and it could be a.
No, we're going to clinch that tomorrow.
We're going to clinch it tomorrow by beating Miami or drawing Miami.
Yep.
Any result, and we've got it.
Yeah, we'll get the Coastal Cup tomorrow.
That's pretty cool.
But I definitely think that we need. I would rather it not come down to Jacksonville, but we're 1 point behind with a game in hand. So the Indy game is our game in hand.
Yeah.
So obviously we need to get at least a point against Miami. We need to beat Indy and beat Ottawa, and hopefully by that point we'll be too far out of reach, but I doubt it. So we'll have to win the next 3 games.
So basically we just kind of need to win the rest out, and we'll be
but we've been saying that for a month now, and we're still here, and now down a point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, other than that little recent stretch of what it went to, like 7 games unbeaten, 4 draws, 3 wins. Like this is not a team that goes on big runs like that, at least as far as piling up wins back to back like that. So it's getting a little late in the season to try and start squeezing lemonade from a lemon. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what we're trying to do at this point.
No, it doesn't, but I like it. I mean,
I think I was going for like squeezing water from a rock or something like that, because getting wins
from a stone
or a goal is what it feels like at this point.
A goal from Tommy.
No, that's okay though. I've decided that Preciado is scoring. His first goal is going to do one of 2 things. It either clinches us a playoff spot, or it knocks New York out in the first round of the playoffs.
I'd rather it knock New York in the first round of the playoffs.
Wait, here's what they should do, because this has been one of the topics of discussion, is that New York might be selling the rights, I guess, to hosting the soccer bowl. I've seen it mentioned on Twitter. If they were to, how about if never mind. I'm stupid. I was gonna say whoever beats, if they get knocked out in the first round, whoever beats them should be the should win their right to host, but then they wouldn't be hosting. So it doesn't make any sense. Ignore me.
I just don't like what. I don't know. I think they should just be disqualified. You can't host the final. You can't be in it. Boom, done. Get out.
It's like whenever they have those contests, must be present to win.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't host the final, you can't be in it. Get out of here. If you earned it and you can't do it, get out. Bye, Felicia.
Nice.
They can eat their sorrows off the fall season plate.
with a side salad, maybe one of the old soccer bowls or something.
There's there's a joke there that I'm not going to make, but yeah.
Because we'd like to still remain on certain outlets. That'd be nice.
Yes.
So usually we'll go around and talk about the different results around the league, but it's been like a week and a half, and I'm not going to go through all that. But I'm not going to go look at the fall table because really right now more than ever it doesn't mean anything. But I am going to go and let's look at the combined table overall. Cosmos currently sitting in first place with a 6-point lead, 56 points.
Who?
Over Edmonton, who has 50 points. Both have 29 games played. Indy is in third at 46 with 28 games played. Minnesota currently sitting in fourth based on goal difference with 38 points. And then after last night's games, leaping over us for now, Rio OKC with 38 points. We're in sixth right now, 37 with 28 games played. So we have a game in hand on both Rio and Minnesota. Carolina's level with us now on 37 points, but they're 10 goals behind us, and we have a game in hand on them. Miami's a 1 point back of us at 36. Also with 28 games. Strikers are still hanging in there, 35 points out of 29 games, but they're also at a negative 10 goal differential as part of their recent 4-game losing streak. I believe we contributed at least a third of those goals to the difference. So technically, I guess you could say Fort Lauderdale and Carolina are still in it, but it really feels like it's going to come down to Minnesota, Oklahoma City, us, and Miami. Once you factor in goal difference and things like that too, I think as close as it is, that could be a deciding factor. And Fort Lauderdale and Carolina are so behind in those areas right now that might be disqualifying for them.
I just don't think Carolina and Fort Lauderdale could also cobble together the results necessary to leapfrog everybody.
Right, I can see that. So we were talking a couple weeks ago how we were the form team in the league.
Yeah.
So currently, right now, I don't know if do you have the standings open in front of you?
I only have it from the Rowdies website, and there's no form.
All right.
Let me see if I can ever get to the NASL
just
website.
Take a guess.
That's
don't
Reddit.
even look.
That's not what I wanted.
Guess right now which team has the best form in their last 5 games.
I'm going to say still us.
Puerto Rico. Bottom of the combined table, Puerto Rico has
the best form in the in the league right now.
3 wins out of they won 3 games back to back with draws sandwiching either side. Then you've got Rio OKC.
OKC's pretty good. Yeah, I was gonna say OKC's pretty good.
And then Jacksonville is unbeaten.
All draws and a win.
All draws and a win. And they finally have they removed the interim tag off their head coach, so the countdown can begin to him getting fired. So yeah, it's going to be kind of interesting. You've got 2 teams on there. Well, you've got Fort Lauderdale has 4 losses on their marks, their schedule right now. Miami with 3, Minnesota with 3. I mean, we're still alive. If these other teams can't pull it together and get consistent, yeah, exactly. There's always hope, and it's the hope that kills.
It is, yeah. It is definitely the hope that kills with this team, especially I feel it's just reminiscent of last year when we were like trying to stay hopeful, just to have our dreams crushed on Halloween.
Yeah, but at least now it feels like, I mean, this is the most in it we've been in October since the Soccer Bowl.
Yeah, just hunker down and get ready for this playoff push.
There's a hunker down for you, Greg. Pendleton, I think it's somebody else there for a second.
Yeah.
So we're definitely still alive.
We're still going. It's close. I think like the email I got today from Bill Edwards that said, we need everybody there. If you have season tickets and you can't go, either find somebody that'll go or, let the team know and they'll give your tickets to charity, apparently, which is kind of awesome.
That is pretty cool. I hope that in addition to the public email, which is something we've kind of talked about as far as some of these corporate sponsors that have bought.
Are we going there? Are we going there right now?
well, kind of. With
I'm ready. Let's do this.
The midfield section, which is the highly touted part of the Al Lang renovations, throwing that midfield section in there, where large chunks of it are open and empty in every game. And I used to think for a while, now this is all just I'm throwing together ideas in my head, so it's what I assume by. But those tickets are sold primarily as season tickets. I don't think there's a lot of walk up or 1 game, 3 game buyers, whatever for that. So what I'm assuming is that you've got a lot of these local corporations that Bill probably has relationships with, or they want to have relationships with him, and have bought tickets and are not filling the seats. Like it's great that you're buying tickets and revenue's coming into the team. But as we've seen the last couple of games, especially going back to that Minnesota one, definitely felt it there too. And after the Carolina game, that was another big one. Like there's no other sport that I've been to, and I've been to Major League Baseball games, I've been to NFL games, I've been to hockey games, I went to NBA games when I was a kid living down in South Florida. I used to go to Miami Heat games. I've been to college football games. Like there's no other sport where the team feeds off the fans, in my opinion, and also to quote Bill Edwards' email, but as much as a soccer game does and a soccer team does. So to sell those tickets is cool, but there need to be people in those seats.
I mean, obviously Wednesday nights are a really hard draw, but it is, like I said, it's our game in hand, and it's extremely important. If we can get as many people there as possible, that would be great. And I say that with my status of going to the game unknown, but if I don't go, I will have my ticket. I'll give my ticket to the team.
Yeah, I'll definitely be up there for that one. It helps that I'm already like halfway there when I'm at work, so I just roll up and hang out.
Yeah, I'm further, I'm further north for work, so
they're doing the $2 hot dog and beer thing again.
They are?
Yeah, for Indy.
I mean, dollar beer is quite nice, but
now,
I have to drive home and I have to work.
Now, here's the thing. It's like the little small plastic cups of like Bud Light.
Like I can't slam that.
Yeah. Now the hot dog thing, because I was like, oh man, I'll go up there and $10 I can do a halfway decent dinner and some drinks and fill up. The hot dogs that I got the first go around were tiny. Like I don't want to sit here and describe the length and the girth of sausage products on air.
I mean, but if we're gonna go there, would you say it would be like Donald Trump's small hands?
I grabbed him by the hot dog bun, and but now then when I went back, they were some quite girthy hot dogs. So, I mean, probably worth $2 first time around, but I feel like I got my money's worth out of it with the second go around for some more hot dogs.
Good. I'm glad you got your.
There's your wiener report from Al Lang. This is why you haven't been coming, because you're scared of the hot dogs.
I don't like small hands.
Small hand smells like cabbage, spray painted orange.
We're going off the rails.
Yeah. It's nice to finally have the rails taken off us so we can podcast like we want to. Oh goodness. No, so anyway, so yeah, that'll be a fun time. I'll come up there after the game and then come back home and get ready for work the next day. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, any other news? We talked about the. Oh well, I will say now I do. If I'm gonna throw some of the corporate people under the bus, I am gonna throw a shout out to Seminole Hard Rock. So last weekend when we played on Sunday, I somehow managed to win a contest on Twitter where I got it was for, you could get 2 passes to the buffet. Remember that buffet up there? Or like one $50 gift card for one of the other restaurants. So I was like, we'll take the 2. We'll go up there and go to the buffet again because it was pretty good. They actually so we went on Saturday night when it's like $40 a plate because it's steak and lobster. Everyone gets a 1 pound steamed lobster. Man, we were there for like 2 hours. I don't know the exact, the actual cost of all the food. But I feel like we got our money's worth, even though we didn't pay for it. But it was cool. We had two passes to the buffet, and then now they charge for parking now. So our parking was comped as well, and then we decided to go ahead and play the slots for a little bit, and only lost $12 by the time we left. So that wasn't too bad.
You mess with something because I'm echoing back in my headphones.
No, I didn't do anything.
Okay.
Still?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. So I want to say hats off to them. That was a fun evening. So what's next? Any other league news?
Do we want to go back into that? I mean, it didn't sound like much, but rumors are swirling again about us dropping to USL again.
Yeah. So I believe I saw it, and I said I don't have the time during the school day anymore to catch up on these things, so I kind of have to do it in the evening. So Rodney Marsh on what was it, his Sirius XM show, I guess.
I think it was or was it what's his name? Jason's Soccer Morning or whatever it used to be, or is, or whatever.
Oh,
was it his own show?
Well, because now he's
I don't know. I know that Jason tweeted it, not Jason Brusquezi. Jason, what's his last name? From Soccer Morning, Jason tweeted Davis. It out. And I got tagged in it. Obviously, I don't have Sirius XM, so I don't.
Right.
I can't listen to it. I didn't hear a clip. It just said that he said that Rodney Marsh said that we were going to USL.
Right. It doesn't sound, and like I didn't hear it. Obviously, I was at work. But people who were, I guess, listening said basically Rodney Marsh just said, "Hey, did you hear the Rowdies are going to USL?" Like, no other additional information or anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe he's just reporting.
It was Rodney's show.
On Rodney's show. So he could just be rehashing the stories and rumors going around. Maybe he knows from another source. I don't know. We know Rodney knows Perry from Playing Days, and
if right Rodney, if there is another source that knows and they're listening, can you give us some info, please?
Yeah,
I'd like to know,
because you have our email addresses. If you're the source, I think you're thinking of. But yeah, so I don't know. But then and this I was Ryan forwarded this the Orlando City thing today. That to me is another sign of potential, possible, probable movement, I would think. Still there?
Like former Orlando City players?
Yeah, so we're so I really honestly don't keep track as much of Orlando City goings on as much as they seem to keep track of ours via Twitter. But I know that after they fired Heath this year, that not Tobin, don't get worried, Dan. It was
I know she doesn't play in Orlando. We're good.
A seemingly sizable segment of the fan base was talking about they feel they've lost their connection to the club and it's not their club anymore, and it's like, well, yeah, you went to MLS. It really isn't your club anymore. It's Don Garber's now, and you have guys who operate it. So I guess something for next year that they're doing, like USL throwback. Like I saw something about going back to USL prices. Is that like season tickets or game tickets or?
I don't know. I just saw that it was something like an alumni game against us.
Yeah, and part of it is they said they're going to resurrect the I-4 derby, but it's going to be like their reserves coaches, and then some of their former, like their alumni players will be playing Rowdies alumni players. So it doesn't look like it's going to be a first team versus first team or an OCB versus R2 or yeah, it's going to be, which, honestly, might be the best way to like ease back into this if that's what it's heading towards.
See how their fans act in a friendly.
Yeah, throwing Molotov cocktails at Rodney Marsh or something. I'm sure Rodney won't be involved in this, but I don't know, maybe punching Takuya Yamada's kids in the face or something. I don't know. But that brings up the question: who's going to play as Rowdies alumni?
I have no idea who a Rowdies alumni that's not even really still playing or anything. I don't know.
Now, I didn't see when the date of the game was, or if that's even been established yet.
Let's see if my computer wants to work.
But obviously, it's going to be after this season. You could see Frankie Sanfilippo out there, possibly.
Possibly.
You could see maybe Keith Savage out there.
Final match at Camping World Stadium on Sunday, October 23rd, between the Lions and DC United in 2017.
2017. Okay, so it's about a year away.
2017 Orlando will begin in New Jersey. So we're nearing the final moments at Camping World Stadium, a place where we launched our MLS season, has celebrated numerous USL championships. We invite our fans to come relive the great milestones and memories we have built in the stadium together, blah, blah, blah. The throwback game will feature a Where We Came From theme with special content dating back to our beginnings in Central Florida, forgetting all of that time we were in Austin and ignoring that, including USL championship performances and most memorable goals from 2 seasons in MLS. Legendary Orlando City players. Did you know there's legendary players after 2 years? The members of the Orlando City Alumni Association will be recognized that night. Additionally, we will revive the I-4 Derby and host the Tampa Bay Rowdies on Saturday, October 22nd at Seminole Soccer Complex. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. Former Lions and current Orlando City B coaches will take the pitch in purple once more, along with...
sorry. Did I do that out?
To learn more about this event and purchase tickets, all proceeds for the scrimmage will benefit the Orlando City Foundation. It doesn't say anything about us. So let's see. Nope, doesn't. Rowdies alumni is all it says. I don't know who or what that's going to be.
All right,
maybe Stuart Campbell's going to lace him up.
Oh, God. That would be incredible. So
I would, let's Stuart Campbell. When is it? Yeah, why not?
So here's some names. I was joking around earlier, but I could maybe see 1 or 2 of these happening. Yamada.
Yeah.
Could see that. This would be a stretch, but it'd be fun to see Tsuyoshi Yoshitaki return to the green and gold for a game, possibly. He's still playing first division in Japan right now.
Good for him.
35 years old, young. How about this one? Signed to a 1-day contract, Luke Mulholland.
Well, we don't need to sign him for a contract. It's just Rowdies alumni.
Yeah, I just want to see it. I just want Luke Mulholland under contract again.
Can we just sign him for like a 2-year contract and make him actually play?
I'll
with
take
the
that.
First team.
Maybe we can put Shane Hill out there.
No.
Well, Ricky will be coaching.
Vetoed. No Shane Hill. No, we don't need that.
No. Let's see what else. Who else could we throw out there? Do you think?
I have no idea.
What's Omar Salgado up to these days?
Does Freddie Adu count?
Can we get Long Tan on loan?
Yeah. Well, you don't need loans, dude. It's an alumni game. It's whoever has free time. It's a charity game.
Jake says we all know what the crowd wants. Shane Hill.
No.
Anyone have Carl Court's number?
Yeah. Amani Walker, get him out there.
He's doing like commentary now. I think that could be a possibility.
Where's JP Rodriguez, Daryl Russell? Get them all out there. Get that band back together.
Yeah, JP's got his like fishing sportswear brand thing going. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who else should get out there. Let's throw Perry out there for the heck of it. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
So yeah, really no further info. No light has been shed on where we're playing next year, other than Al Lang Stadium. So I don't know. The wait continues. We'll wait and see. I will say though, there was a USL staff member at the Minnesota game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he's there often, so I wouldn't attribute that to anything else besides he's a season ticket holder because he knows it. He knows a good
stir in the pot.
Look at me. Well, did you see what I did before that game started?
I don't remember.
I tweeted out that I had some news that I wanted to share.
Oh yeah.
We should talk about that a little bit too.
Go right ahead.
Yeah. So one of our buddies, longtime listener, friend of the show, Michael Taylor. He's actually did some work for. I'm part of AO Sarasota down here. He's done some work on. We kind of remixed our scarf that we did, and he did the finishing touches on it and made it look amazing. So he's going to rather than us come up with it, we're going to open this up to a fan for next year and let Michael design our 2017 scarf, which I think is pretty cool. And this ties into USL because he had an interview for the job with them this year. It was fun,
I think
though.
we should all be hired by USL.
That actually did get some traction outside of our little group that night. And then they didn't like the follow-up.
I was going to say, you probably pissed off a bunch of people.
Well, that was kind of what I was going for. Also, he had I guess he had an interview with FC Dallas too, so I don't know what happened with that, but it'll be cool to find out. So, but yeah, speaking of the AO thing, so that I guess it was Wednesday morning. What, today's Thursday, right? Yeah.
I have no idea.
It was a short week, and then I went out on Tuesday night to watch the U.S. New Zealand game, and days and nights are blurring together. But I am officially going to Columbus for USA Mexico. I won tickets in the Columbus Games lottery, I guess is how I'm referring to it. So
AO ticket wait.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting week there because number one, that Monday of that week, I'm going to I'm going to be up at the Mahaffey for a field trip with a bunch of students in the day. Then Tuesday is possibly the end of life as we know it with the election. I finally got my ballot, by the way. My absentee.
I actually have my ballot sitting right next to me, filled out and signed.
Yeah, there's some strange guy in my living room claims he's a poll watcher. He wants to watch me fill this stuff in. So we'll see. And then Wednesday. Now, from what I heard, because we when they had the primaries that we bumped later a little bit that night because of the primary results. I think we're still okay to go normal time on election night.
I think we should take that night off because that's like hardcore nerd time for me.
This is true.
And
so then
there won't be a game unless we're in the playoffs.
True. Then we have to do it on Wednesday because Thursday morning I fly out to Columbus.
That's fine. I mean, it'll depending on the playoffs. I mean, obviously, depends on whether or not we have anything to talk about.
Right. But yeah, so I'm flying out with our mutual friends Andres and Shannon will be on the same flight with me. So, well, at least there'll be some people I know. I'm already making arrangements with Joey. Once I get up there, we're gonna hit the town like probably on Saturday night and take do a little tourist thing that evening. Hopefully, I'll get to run into Tony as well, and copy
you won't
going
miss
up
Tony.
there. Oh, no, I love Tony. I haven't seen Tony since Charlotte.
I mean, I love Tony. I'm just saying, if he's there, you won't miss him.
So I'm looking forward to it. I gotta start checking weather reports and see if I need to stock up on a cold, extra cold weather gear.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's not like January below zero cold or 20 degrees.
So I did do this. I got one of the those like Peruvian kind of mohawk hats with like the big things that hang down on the sides, look like ponytails or whatever.
I don't think it'll be that cold in November.
Well, I got one. It's all U.S. Flag colored and.
That'll be good for the game.
Yeah, it'd be good for that. So you look for me on TV with that. I'll be behind one of the goals because instead of like AO just being in one section this time, they're putting them on like either behind either goal, and also there's a couple corner sections.
You guys are all divided.
Yeah, like it's because there's so many. They wanted to pack as many as they could. So rather than just limit it to one section behind the goal, they're both behind goals are AO sections.
That's not bad actually, because then you can taunt them from either side.
Right, and they everyone who went in the lottery committed to buy 4 tickets. So we'll be reselling them to people who didn't get them. So it'll be a fun time though. That's one of those bucket list things I always wanted to do, and I had tickets to go to the Jacksonville friendly earlier this year, and stuff kind of came up last minute, and I wasn't able to make that because apparently it costs money to buy new dryers and repair walls in your house and stuff. So I wasn't able to make that trip. So when this kind of came up and having taken on a little bit of extra work this year for a nice sum of extra money, I'm like, I'm doing this. Like I've had the flight booked for about a month now already before I even knew if I was getting tickets to the game or not. So if anyone from NASL podcast Twitter land is heading up there for the game, let me know. I will enjoy meeting up with you and sharing some
Soon to be
naturally cold
USL
beverages.
podcast Twitter land.
Exactly. Seriously, all I know it's out there is Louisville.
Well, we'll figure it out. We'll see what's going.
Yeah.
If we end up in USL, we'll deal with it then.
Although I will say the coolest like random podcast find, Prez from New York like tweeted this one out. It's a St. Pauli podcast, but it's like a guy and a girl up in Canada.
Hey,
And it's called "Fell in Love with a Girl."
I like it
because it took me a few minutes to figure it out, but St. Pauli girl.
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay. So I've checked them out. It's a fun show if you like St. Pauli. Yeah, I'm partial to them. I haven't followed them as much as probably I'd like to, but every now and then Fafa Picault gets a nice run of games with them. He's wearing the number 9 for him still, and scores a goal here and there. So I like to keep track of him. So that's kind of cool and fun. Maybe look him up if you want some info about it. And listen to Canadians being really polite about things, which is always fun. Other than that, I don't know. I think that's it. All right. So watch party tomorrow night at Engine Rose, I've heard.
Yes. Good food, good place to watch a game.
I'll be at the Haunted Mansion in Disney, dressed as Dipper Pines from Gravity Falls. I have the hat and the vest and everything now.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's my costume for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Oh yeah, I thought you were going to.
Yeah, I'm going to be Dipper. My wife's going to be Mabel, and my daughter, of course, is not going to be Waddles. She's going to be a cat. Go figure. But we'll be back. Let's see. It's a Friday night game. There's nothing really else going on. Yeah, so Tuesday looks good for next week. At least for me.
What's good? Tuesday? No, I actually good Tuesday.
Do you have any idea how many people have watched you on Facebook?
It says there's a little 3 next to the eye right now, but there's I see 4 people that it says joined, and I can scroll up and quite a few more.
Well,
we're up to 4. I don't know.
Even if you had 1, you're the undisputed winner because I've shown 0 consistently, except for the 2 times I've clicked on links to see if it was actually accessible.
It's because I'm pretty.
Well, you're definitely prettier than me. I'll give you that. I will give you that. I mean, I don't know.
And this time I'm on Facebook Live on purpose and not pocket Facebook Living. I should throw it out there.
So yeah, we'll do this. Eventually, we'll figure out a way to get us both on one screen. And
yes,
we'll do this live one time. Because we don't want to miss our shot.
Not throwing away my. Okay, now we gotta go listen to Hamilton. I gotta get out of here.
I just have to go watch the monologue again.
Oh, that was such a good monologue. I have the gif of him in front of Trump's picture. It's probably my favorite thing in the world.
Well, I was watching a clip and they would just do the part from when he comes down the hallway, and then SNL has like the whole thing up there. And I'm like, oh, that's even better.
It was a great monologue. But I love Lin-Manuel.
No, I'm gonna say I don't think I've ever seen pictures of him outside of his like out of costume.
Well, he cut his hair. Like as soon as he was done with the playing Hamilton, he cut his hair.
So what was it like a lot longer before or something?
Yeah. He had like shoulder length hair or something before, then cut it all off.
Because
he was like, yes, vacation.
Because he like when I flipped on the monologue the other night, like I was like, why is Balky Bartokomous out here instead of Lin-Manuel Miranda?
Nope, he shaved the goatee and got rid of the long hair.
Okay. All right. I wondered if that was all. I was wondering if that had been like makeup or something for the show or something. But
I know way too much about Lin-Manuel. I mean, so
I don't think it's possible to know too much.
He's fantastic. sweet cinnamon roll.
All right. Well, it's been another fun evening. Any we love yous?
Everybody, I love you all.
We love you too.
Aw.
One other one I'm going to throw out there, and I don't even know the whole story or even know the guy's last name, but I follow some of the Detroit City guys out there. If anyone was watching earlier, I threw a little picture, a little posted up there on the screen. One of their guys is, I guess, pretty sick, Greg, and they were, in true Detroit City style, are wishing him to get the something well. in the interest of keeping it relatively clean for our broadcast partners, I will refer to it as "Get the hell well, Greg." I don't know you, but I hope you get better. I hate to hear about anybody being sick for any reason. That's just a deplorable situation, maybe. Speaking of people who could get sick, and I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
All right,
On that note, let's
we're like leading into that other podcast we were talking about.
Yeah, should do that. But we'll more about that later.
Little more later. All right, guys. It's been fun. We will talk to you next week. Hopefully, marinating in a win with a Coastal Cup. We got to figure out if one of us can get it, like in our homes, like for next week's show.
We should.
I think so. We have to talk to people. All right. We will be back next week. This has been the Unused Substitutes on Radio St. Pete, on Rabble Sports, on Facebook Live, and on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you at the next game or the next watch party or somewhere online. See ya.
Bye.
The Rowdies were here, the Rowdies were there, they kicked the wall around.